Okay, sorry. Okay. Good morning, respected lecturer and fellows, classmates. Welcome to today's forum entitled Discipline Control Mechanism, Addressing Bullying in Malaysian Schools. My name is Muhammad Shafiq, and I will be the moderator for today's discussion. Bullying remains one of the most challenging disciplinary issues faced by schools today. It affects students' emotional well-being, academic achievement, and overall school climate. Bullying can occur in many forms, including physical, verbal, social exclusion, and cyberbullying. If schools fail to respond effectively, the consequences can be long-lasting for both the victim and the school community. To make our discussion more meaningful, we will use a real Malaysian case. In May 2025, a Form 2 student from secondary school in Subang Jaya was allegedly assaulted several times by classmates. According to the police investigation, the student was punched and pushed over several weeks before his father eventually lodged a police report. This case reminds us that bullying often develops gradually and school must recognize warning signs early before the situation becomes more serious. Today, our discussion will examine how teachers can prevent bullying, respond appropriately when incidents occur, restore relationship, and ensure disciplinary action comply with Malaysian educational policies. Joining me today are four distinguished panelists who will share their perspective on different aspects of bullying management in school. Allow me to introduce them. Our first panelist is Azrul. He will discuss preventive strategies, including classroom rules and expectations, classroom routines, behavior contracts, creating a positive classroom environment, and the importance of prevention in discipline management. Our next panelist is Noor Ashikin. She will focus on responsive strategies, including how teachers should respond to bullying incident, de-escalation technique, conflict resolution, appropriate disciplinary action, and the teacher's role during bullying situation. Our third panelist is Praise. She will discuss restorative and reinforcement strategies, including restorative practices, peer mediations, student reflection, restitutions, and positive reinforcement to encourage behavioral change. And our final panelist is Niza. She will discuss communication and legal and ethical compliance, including parent-teacher communication, referral to school counselors and administrators, staff responsibilities, and compliance with the Public Service General Orders and Ministry of Education guidelines. Without further ado, I'd like to start with our first panelist, Mr. Azrul. Mr. Azrul, based on
Yes.
why is prevention always considered the most effective strategy?
Okay, next slide. Hi, everyone. I will present the preventive strategies in our discipline control mechanism. Prevention is the foundation of effective classroom discipline. Instead of waiting for problems to occur, teachers should establish clear expectations and create a positive learning environment that encourage to behave responsibly. This proactive approach helps to reduce disciplinary issues before they become serious problems. Next slide. Our first preventive strategy is establishing clear classroom rules and expectations. At the beginning of the school year, teachers should explain classroom rules clearly so every student understands what is expected of them. The rules should be simple, fair, and apply consistently. In our discipline mechanism, students are expected to respect teachers and classmates, follow instruction, attend class punctually, complete assessments honestly, and avoid behaviors such as bullying, smoking, or vaping. Clear expectation helps students understand acceptable behavior and reduce confusion and misconduct. Okay, the second strategy is establishing classroom routines. The consistent daily routines help students know what to do without constant reminders. Example, including greeting students, taking attendance, preparing learning materials, following procedure, doing group activities, and cleaning the classroom before dismissal. When students become familiar with these routines, classroom management becomes smoother, disruption decrease, and teachers can spend more time on teaching. Next slide. Another preventive strategy is using behavior contracts. A behavior contract is a written agreement between the teacher and the student, and sometimes parents are also involved. The contract clearly states that expect behavior, student responsibilities, reward for the positive improvement, and the consequence if the agreement is not followed. This strategy encourages students to take responsibility for their own behavior while allowing teacher to monitor progress more effectively. Next slide. Uh, another, eh, another preventive strategy is using a positive classroom environment. Teachers should build strong relationship with students by showing empathy, respect, and encouragement. Students should feel safe, valued, and comfortable participate in classroom activity. Positive reinforcement, such as merit points or certificates, motivate students to continue demonstrating appropriate behavior. When students feel respect and support, they are more likely to cooperate and follow classroom rules. Next slide. In conclusion, prevention is more effective than punishment. By establishing clear rules, consistent routines, behavior contracts, and a positive classroom environments, teacher can minimize disciplinary problems before they occur. This preventive strategy helps students develop self-discipline, responsibility, and respect while creating a safe and supporting classroom where everyone can learn effectively. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you, Mr. Azrul. Despite our best preventive efforts, bullying may still occur in schools. Although preventive strategies are important, they cannot eliminate bullying completely. Therefore, teachers must also know how to respond effectively when bullying occurs. This brings us to our next discussion. To continue our discussion, I'd like to invite our second panelist, Noor Ashikin, who will discuss the responsive strategy that teachers can use when bullying occurs. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you, moderator. So, good day, everyone. Okay, today I will discuss the responsive strategies, which refer to the immediate and appropriate actions teachers should take when bullying occurs. So, although preventive measures are important, bullying may still happen. Therefore, teacher must respond quickly, fairly, and professionally to ensure the safety of all students and to prevent the situation from becoming more serious. Okay, so next slide. So why responsive strategies matter? So it is important because they help teachers manage bullying effectively once an incident has occurred. So the teacher's first responsibility is to ensure that every student is safe. So immediate intervention can prevent further physical or emotional harm to the victim. So at the same time, teachers should help students understand that bullying behavior is unacceptable and that everyone is responsible for maintaining a respectful school environment. So an effective response also builds trust as students will feel more confident reporting bullying when they know teachers will take appropriate action. Also, next slide. So when a bullying incident happens, so what a teacher should do is should remain calm and act immediately. The first step is to stop the bullying behavior and to separate the students involved without using any aggressive language or excessive punishment. So next, a teacher should ensure that the victim feels safe before gathering information. it is important to listen to both the victim and the alleged bully separately so that each student has an opportunity to explain what has happened. So teachers should avoid making assumptions before all the facts have been collected. So next slide. So after the situation is under control, so teachers should use the de-escalation techniques. This means speaking calmly, reducing tension, and giving students time to regain self-control before discussing the incident. So once the facts have been established, appropriate disciplinary action should be taken. According to the Ministry of Education, bullying cases should be documented, reported to the school administrators, and parents should be informed about the issue. So where appropriate, students should also receive counseling. The aim is not only to discipline the student itself, but also to help them understand the consequence of their behavior and encourage positive change. So next slide. Finally, teachers play an important role in ensuring that bullying does not happen again. They must remain fair, protect the privacy of all students involved, and work closely with the school counselors and parents to provide continued support. Teachers should also monitor both the victim and the student who bullied others to ensure positive behavioral change. So, in conclusion, responsive strategies are essential for managing bullying effectively. So teachers should respond promptly, remain calm, investigate fairly, and follow the school procedures when handling bullying case. So by combining appropriate disciplinary actions with counseling and continuous monitoring, teachers can create a classroom environment where students feel respected, supported, and safe. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Narshikin, for your insightful explanation on how teachers should respond to the bullying incidents. As we have learned, immediate intervention is essential to ensure student safety and to stop the bullying from continuing. However, effective discipline should not end with consequences alone. Once the situation is under control, schools should also focus on helping students learn from their mistakes, rebuild relationship, and develop empathy. This brings us to our next discussion on restorative and reinforcement strategies. Let's now turn our attention to our third panelist, Praise, to share how restorative and reinforcement strategies can encourage long-term behavioral change. Please welcome.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning. Today I'll be talking about the restorative and reinforcement strategies. So, as related back to the case that our moderator brought up earlier in this forum, after the bullying incident has been managed, schools should focus on helping students learn from their mistakes and encouraging positive behavioral change. This is where restorative and reinforcing strategies become important. As shown in this diagram, once teachers have responded immediately to stop the bullying, the next step is to provide behavioral support through restorative and reinforcement strategies. The aim is not only to address incident, but also to guide the students forward towards making better choices and demonstrating positive behaviors in the future. Next, please. So, for restorative strategies, firstly, it focuses on repairing relationships instead of relying only on punishment. In this case, the teacher can guide the student who bully others to understand the impact of their actions, take responsibility, and offer sincere apology when appropriate. This helps develop empathy and reduces the likelihood of repeated bullying. Another important strategy is student reflection, where students think about what happened, who was affected, and how can they make their better choices in the future. Reflection encourages accountability and personal growth. Next. Additionally, when appropriate, teachers may also use peer mediation to help students resolve conflicts through respectful communication under teacher supervision. In addition, restitution allows students to repair the harm they have caused by making amends, such as apologizing or participating in activities that rebuild trust. Moving on to positive reinforcement and outcomes, the teachers should We use positive reinforcement by recognizing students who demonstrate respectful behavior and improvements in behavior. This can include verbal praise, merit points, certificates, or even classroom privileges. Recognizing positive behavior encourages students to continue making responsible choices and contributes to a supportive classroom environment. Overall, restorative and reinforcement strategies help students rebuild relationships, develop empathy, and make better decisions in the future. When combined with appropriate disciplinary actions, these strategies promote long-term behavioral change. Thank you. That is all from me.
Okay, thank you, Praise, for your valuable insight. As we have learned, restorative practices help students reflect on their actions, rebuild relationships, and make better choices in the future. However, managing bullying is not the responsibility of teacher alone. Effective discipline requires close collaboration between teacher, parents, school counselors, and school administrators. In addition, all disciplinary action must be complied with the Ministry of Education policies and ethical guidelines. Moving on to our next discussion, I would like to invite our final panelist, Niza, to discuss the importance of communication and legal and ethical compliance in managing bullying cases. Please welcome.
Thank you, Shafiq. So managing bullying effectively, it requires strong communication and strict adherence to legal and ethical guidelines. No teacher should handle a serious bullying case in isolation. Firstly, parent-teacher communication is essential. So in the Subang Jaya case that you mentioned, the father only became aware of the full extent of the bullying after several weeks. School must establish a proactive communication channels with parents, informing them promptly when their child is involved in a bullying incident, whether as a victim or a perpetrator. Teachers should document every incident carefully and communicate with parents through formal meetings, written reports, or phone calls. This is to ensure transparency while maintaining the confidentiality of the students involved. Secondly, teachers must make timely referrals to school counselors and administrators. When bullying is persistent or severe, as in this case involving physical assault, teachers should not attempt to resolve the matter alone. Referring to the case to trained school counselors ensures that victims receive emotional support, while administrators can coordinate more comprehensive disciplinary proceedings and, if necessary, involve external authorities such as the police or welfare services. Thirdly, all staff members share a collective responsibility in maintaining a safe school environment. Every teacher, not just the class teacher or discipline teacher, must be vigilant, report warning signs, and intervene when they witness bullying behavior. A whole school approach ensures that no incident goes unnoticed. And finally, all disciplinary actions must comply with the Public Service General Orders and the Teachers' Code of Ethics. Teachers must act professionally, avoid excessive punishment, protect students' dignity, and follow procedures outlined in Ministry of Education circulars. Any failure to comply may result in disciplinary action against the teacher themselves. In summary, effective communication and legal compliance ensure that bullying cases are managed fairly, ethically, and in the best interest of every student. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for your informative presentation and for highlighting the importance of communication and legal and ethical compliance in managing bullying cases. I would like also to express my sincere appreciation to all our panelists for sharing their valuable knowledge and perspectives throughout today's discussion. Today's forum has shown that bullying cannot be addressed by punishment alone. It requires prevention, early intervention, restorative practices, and strong collaboration among teachers, parents, counselors, and school leaders. By following the Ministry of Education guidelines, the Teachers' Code of Ethics, and the Public Service General Orders, we can ensure that every disciplinary action is fair, professional, and focused on students' well-being. As future educators, our responsibility is not only to manage behavior, but also to build a safe, respectful, and inclusive learning environment where every student can thrive. On behalf of all panelists, thank you for your attention and active participation. We hope today's discussion has provided meaningful insight into developing an effective discipline control mechanism for addressing bullying in Malaysian schools. Thank you and have a wonderful day.